Hello, welcome back to Akos Music. Stop shaking. Welcome back to Akos Music. Here we meet about issues of life and then make constructive adjustments moving forward based on the conclusions you come to in no particular order. Today, I wanted to discuss something that I came across about marriage being hard. So, a couple of days ago, I was on this social media platform, and then people were saying, it's not one, I think it's a single lady wrote that, why is it that married people always complain that marriage is hard? When they say marriage is hard, it kind of scares the single people from wanting to enter into marriage. And others were saying, oh, don't, and people were commenting and then, oh, don't mind them, they're enjoying, they're saying, my sister, why is it that people don't want the truth? If marriage wasn't hard, why would people be divorcing all over the place? Marriage is work, and it is hard work, because I'm going to show you why I say marriage is hard work. This is Ghana. I'm in Ghana. If you are in Ghana and you like to eat fufu, people really enjoy fufu. In these parts of the world, people enjoy, and our kind of fufu, we do it with two ingredients, mostly two ingredients, and these two ingredients are cassava and plantain. When you see people eating fufu and it has come to a very nice consistency and texture and they're enjoying it, people don't usually look at how the fufu was made. When you see two people who are married and they are so having fun, they seem to be all put together and collected, you think it came by chance, or it just dropped into, they got lucky. They work at it. Marriage is like pounding fufu. Pounding fufu, these days we have a machine that actually changes the fufu together and the ingredients together to that pulp that people eat. But generally, before that thing came, people pounded fufu with their hands. So you boil the cassava, and most times cassava, until cassava is boiled, you don't know whether it's spoiled or it's okay, whether it is fit to eat or it's not fit to eat, unless you boil it. Now the process of pounding, you have to pound the cassava into a very soft consistency, and then you pound the plantain to, most people pound the plantain separately from the cassava, and they both have to come to a soft consistency, a certain smooth consistency, and it demands a lot of pounding. And sometimes those who are pounding, their palms are calloused because the pistol is either too smooth or too rough. And they pound it and they pound it, and then they combine the plantain and the cassava together until they also come into a fine consistency. And it's hard work. People sweat. Sometimes those who are churning the mixture together get their hands hit by pistols. Sometimes corners of the mortar, so the mortar is built with wood, and so sometimes you could have shrapnels lurking around somewhere, and before you realize they've entered your fingers. And all this just so that people will have fufu to eat. That's how marriage is. You have two people from different backgrounds, very different backgrounds, coming together to form a union that is palatable to see and enjoy. And you think that is easy work, especially if one has a tendency to be married single. Especially one is so stubborn, they don't want to change. They don't want to, not necessarily change, but adapt or compromise. Especially when there's so much dogma and cultural and instituted paradigms in their system that they will not compromise at all. Especially when they just won't compromise. And you're supposed to live with it, especially when unexpected changes, huge changes happen along the way of the marriage. And you're still supposed to hold that strong front. It's not easy. Pounding fufu is not easy. Marriage is not easy either. until the fufu is put together into that mixture, that consistency. People will sweat. But when you are eating them on the table, they forget about the sweat and they eat it because they put in the effort, they enjoy it. That's how marriage is. It's also, what's that? Another example I can use to describe marriage is like a painter mixing two different kinds of paint to get a particular kind of hue that you can't really get to the market. You have to put your creativity and imagination together, rack your brains to bring out that hue, and you have to go for this color of paint, this other color of paint, that other color of paint, put them together in a bowl and then mix them together. If you have the technology to facilitate the process and make it easier for you, good for you. If you don't have the technology and you have to do it manually, it's not easy until you get that consistent, that mixture, that color of hue that you want, which everybody go like, oh wow, this is exotic, this is unique, this is beautiful. Only you will ever know the efforts and the ingenuity and the focus and consistency you put to it to get that hue. The same applies to marriage. Marriage is work. It's difficult. It's so difficult some people give up. So get the reality. Marriage is not a child's play. It's not something fanciful. It's not wedding. Marriage is not wedding. Marriage is not waking up every day and romance. Hey, sister, brah. No, it's not. It's people adapting, bearing people's backgrounds. Charlie, people come from different backgrounds. And they will challenge you. Especially if you want to marry forever. You'll be challenged. Apart from your background challenging you, generally issues of life will also challenge you. I have this friend who had a baby, and the baby, I think they were AS, and the baby got sick, and you'd come and tell me it is not easy because they'll take turns at the baby's bedside in the hospital. That alone is a huge challenge in a marriage. That alone. So if you think marriage is about kissing, sitting at table and eating and going out dressing in the same shade of clothes, collecting greetings from people, you better think twice. It's not easy. Marriage is not easy. But of course, it's fun if you've married one person you're compatible with. If you've married one person who gives you peace of mind. If you've married that person who just brings out the very best in you, it's fun along the way. It's as you go along the way. It's easier. It is more manageable. It is more tolerable. And it's convenient. It's fun. That is if you found somebody you're compatible with. If you didn't find somebody you're compatible with, it adds to the work. So be very careful. I don't think the weddings you're seeing, the bride and groom entering and dancing and your bridal train following you, that is not marriage. That is at best party. It's a waste, and sometimes it's a waste of party. The money you waste. You people. People just want to tell you the truth. People are not ready to listen to the truth. Marriage is work. It's a lot of committed work. There's this book I read before I got married, and I've forgotten whoever wrote it. And the title is The Joy of Committed Love. It didn't just say the joy of love. You have to commit. Decide to commit. Because if you don't commit to that thing called marriage, and decide to put in effort to make it shine, it is work. It is work. The baggages that people come with. Sample of attachment issues, they bring it into marriage. Sample of insecurity issues, they bring it into marriage. They are so overly jealous. Just say, sample are just two dada beefsteak, mama beefsteak, yensanka yenanka. You marry people like that, you should know that you're in for war. You're in for war. But because you want to you enjoy that person, you now have to make sacrifices. Put some nonsense perceptions aside. Put some nonsense cultural dogmas and entrenchments aside, just so that peace will prevail. And that process alone is not easy. That process alone, crazy. I'm wearing my husband's shirt, so if you think it's not a female shirt, whatever, it's your own cup of tea, baby. You know? I don't even know how to say that, but oh dear. Okay. Marriage is hard. People just so like what most of the time ask people, why won't our parents tell us that this is how marriage is? And they all have one answer. If they told you this is how it is, you wouldn't want to marry. And so they probably assume your marriage will be different from theirs or whatever. And most times, if you're lucky, it will be different. Your story will be different because of your maturity, because of your ability to adapt and compromise. Your marriage might be better. It will be the best among the lot. But get this at the back of your head, that marriage is work. Don't think it is silver platter you're going to live. No, it's not. Situations in marriage will change you. Marriage itself as an institution has its own rules of engagement. It will change you. Living together with one person, getting to know the person, adapting to that person, and helping that person against all will also change you. They will challenge you. And some people, if they can't, they just run away. They just go. Take your marriage, let me take my life. When marriage is not a joke, and it is work. I dare say hard work. So if you see people who have married for long, salute them. They have done well. They have adapted, they have compromised, they have matured, they have grown, they have lived. And you have to salute them because they have done well. If you're coming to marriage thinking it's going to be road cases, romance, the first 3 years stops, yeah. The rest of the years is adaptation, is compromise, is maturity, is understanding. And it takes a very strong, tough person who wants to marry forever to catch the drift and follow it through. So this is something I just want to tell somebody. Marriage is not a joke. Marriage is not fanfare. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of commitment. So, you are so be careful. You are so be mix paint to get that perfect consistency and make sure that you want to enjoy. It's up to you. It's up to you. And no two marriages are the same. So don't say, oh, this one's marriage is like this because I'm also getting married. My marriage must be like that. This doesn't work. Everybody's marriage is different. It's no. Thank you for watching. These are Coast Musings. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button and hit the bell icon to be notified of future uploads. Thank you very much for listening to my musings.